Hello everyone, and welcome to part 2 of my Elden Ring level 1 playthrough. If you haven't seen part 1, you can click on the link on the video right now, or use the link in the description below. It covers all of the setup and the gathering of the 2 great runes. Before we get into this, I want to address that I am doing this commentary after the 1.03 update released, and I have some sad news. They nerfed the Sword and Iron Flame, and even worse, Frost Stomp has been completely destroyed. This means that a lot of the strategies that I share in this video and the previous are much harder to pull off now. In saying that, I still want to share the experience of this playthrough. Now let's get into it. After being granted entry to Lindell, I head to the entrance of the city, which is guarded by the draconic Tree Sentinel. This boss is very hard to tackle head on. Lucky for me, there is a very simple cheese for this boss. By sneaking around the Sentinel, I can get right behind him, cast Poison Mist, wait for him to be poisoned, and then blast him with Rotten Breath. Then I run as fast as I can. After waiting long enough, he forgets I exist, so I repeat the process. This time though, I speed things up by giving the horse an unpleasant surprise. If you want to play this fight slow but safe, you can just use Poison Mist. Just make sure that you stock up on FP flasks. After rushing my way through Lindell, I make it to Godfrey. The Sword and Iron Flame puts him down very quickly. Mogul is the only thing between us and the Erd Tree. Okay, an important note for this fight and some other fights, the starting position for your first encounter with the boss is usually different from later attempts. As we are coming through the fog gate this time, I can cast Rotten Breath at a very precise spot. Now we just play the stomp game. So there we go, we can now claim the throne and... shit. After Melina tells us her plan, we head to the Lift of Rold, which takes us to the mountaintops of the Giants. I make a quick stopover to get the Smithing Stone Bearing Bell 3 at the Zamor Ruins, and continue traversing, collecting my Somber Stones along the way. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that death. The Fire Giant. Oh boy. You would think that the Fire Giant is a simple boss, but honestly, I sucked at this fight. Yeah, I sucked a lot. But then I had my breakthrough. After 38 deaths, I finally took the giant health bar down. Now Melina burns the tree and we arrive at crumbling Farrum Azula. After a quick run through, I make it to Godskin Duo. Ironically though, this took a lot less attempts than the fire giant did. And this was an oddly fun fight too, even though usually the fight is total bullshit. Poor Frost Stomp made this a piece of cake. I can't really figure out why the Stomp got nerfed. Now for the next boss, this bloody run through. Seriously, this is so hard to do without the birds getting you or getting unlucky with lightning. Eventually I get a breakthrough, however. Malekith is a boss that you can make pretty simple if you set up Rotten Breath and stomp around. As you can see, playing the pillars similar to the Godskin Duo fight really helps. Now it is time for the final stretch. So Gideon Othnia was a total pushover. I just used walls and pillars and spammed dragon incantations and stomps. Favorite main game fight? Coming right up. Godfrey, again? Well, more than that. Horrorloo. I make sure to do Rotten Breath from the right position and start stomping away. One of the best tips for this fight is to jump rather than roll any earthquake moves. The earthquakes change from having a travel time to an instant area of effect, so jumping covers both cases at the same time. Phase 2 is all about playing passive and waiting for him to make mistakes. It took a few tries, but eventually, he goes down. Hey, remember the Battle Axe and Wild Strikes Ash of War that I got in part 1? This is where my plan comes together for them. Yeah, I have no idea whether this is patched now, honestly. If it is, God help me, and God help anyone taking this challenge. This is the fight I feel most dirty doing a cheese for, as this one is really busted. But doing this and then Elden Beast back to back, with all the rules I have in place, I had to give myself a break in some way to keep sane. Speaking of Elden Beast, I struggled so damn much with this fight, and I was really caving under the pressure. There were 3 attacks I would really struggle with. It's Slice with the Ground Shatter, this specific Rain of Beams, and Elden Stars. Bloody Elden Stars. This move is almost impossible to dodge. So I made a decision. I would get one more talisman, as I had started doubting that the Graven School talisman was even working the way that I had thought. So I head to Atlas Plateau, head to the boss, and the boss goes down pretty quickly, and I collect my talisman. For those with a keen eye, might have seen that I had Summoning Ashes for the Wolves equipped, which is breaking my own rule. And I gotta be honest for a moment, I was caving pretty badly against Elden Beast, so I was going to make it an exception to this rule. At the end of the day, however, it didn't help at all. As a matter of fact, I think I played worse. There was one last thing I did before going back to Elden Beast. I activated Godric's Great Rune, which boosts all stats by 5. I was hoping with this boost to stats that it would push me over the line by giving me a little bit more damage. I equipped the new talisman, popped the rune arc, and I was ready to do this. I swear I've burnt my retinas entering this fight so many times. No luck on attempt 1 or 2. Third time's a charm? So there you have it. The Elden Ring main game completed at level 1. I wanted to cover the whole playthrough as this might inspire some people to give the challenge a try. Yes, a lot of the stuff has been patched, but I'm really excited to try it again now that it is more of a challenge. Thank you so much anyone watching this video. I really appreciate you, and I hope you have a great day. Until the next one, peace.